Alright, all you too. Welcome back. YouTube doing what they does best. Trying to cut the truth. At the first and do it, just cut your stream. Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes one of the brothers in America have done 10 times you have to restart the class. Yeah. I'm not exaggerating. Because they don't want you to wake the people. Yeah. So they do it subtly. Then I try to come against you with guns, and things. They do it subtly. Block you from social medias and so on. Yeah. Verse what we had?
Verse 25.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
Lord
That
shall,
means we'll just read 24 again then.
the Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee, until thou be destroyed.
All right. So making thy land, make the rain of your land powder and dust. What give you dust? What generally give you dust? Drought. Generally it's drought or lack of water. Because if the rain is falling, you can have dust. Right. So when I'm saying shall make the rain of thy land powder and dust, you hear the most I put it. Say, I'm not going to give you any rain. I shall make your rain be powder and dust. So this is him speaking figuratively. So our parents do similar things to us. Might say something like, give me one of the parable you normally talk to you. Like, more tell us say you'll get the thing, but I don't really to go and get. Hmm?
That's why I get 6 on.
What's that?
You see, you're going to get the thing where it's not really you're going to get.
Right, like all the most I tell you, shall make your rain. You're going to get 6 for that man can get 6 for 9. Yeah, get where you're going to get where you look for. So the most I say, you go on, your rain going to turn powder and dust. Means in what? You ain't gonna get no rain. So when the parents tell us, you go on, you get where you look for. No, you say, wow. Maybe you might say, wow. Cause in your mind, when your parents are telling you you get another, you really look for it, right?
Yeah.
But your actions, like your parents tell us, say, what you're really looking for, your actions is going to give you the reverse of that. So Christ said, so the Most High say, you go on. Your rain going to be poured on us. Because we are disrespecting him, we keep having idols and so on, and I plant up a vineyard, man. And we say, oh, look at my vineyards, look at my orchard, I have a big orange orchard. Say, yeah, man, Mrs. say, you have a big orange orchard, but your rain going to be poured on us. Him not say, you're not going to get no rain, you're going to get drought. Just tell you that way there. That's what you know you are the most High children. You don't speak figuratively just the same. Because your parents say, you're going to get where you look for. But what you're going to get, and really you look for it. You understand? Right. So you might tell your son, say, yeah, I'm going to the bad man, them, you'll get where you look for. Your son not looking for content quack shot. Your son not looking for man to come pounce upon him for the friends that he's hanging out with. But that's what happened, don't? And that's what his actions lead to. Right? So figuratively speaking, the Bible is full of it. Because we are the most, but it's only we can understand this. The other race don't understand it. The other race thinking what they see, what they read, is what the Most High is saying. What they read, most times, is being figuratively with you, is one metaphor, simile, pun, you name them. It's right there in the Bible. Right. So him say, your rain going to be. Verse what we just read? 24. But then give you a hint, because in 23 it say your heaven that is over your head shall be brass, and the earth under thee shall be iron. Now, have you ever seen how this look like brass? You ever see? You ever see the dirt look like an iron? No. But we sing say rain and fall, but it dirty tough, don't? Right. And another one where we sing, where we say again, the heaven that is over the head shall be brass. No, that never turn brass. The ground your hand never really turn iron. So what is it saying? Thank you. Just being metaphorically speaking. Because if that fit on brass, then you're not going to get no rain. And if the ground fit on iron, then nothing going to grow from it. But he speak to you with speak to you what we call it, figuratively. Right? But you know have to understand that. Just like your parents go and talk to you. He said, me say you feel left that man alone, he will give you where I look for you know. I will tell him man say, tell his son say, be here, me say you must talk to that woman, she go and give you where I look for you know. I will say, be here, me say you have to change your ways. You go on. And then he tell us, say, come 1 year, boop. You hear that one? I tell you, I go donkey follow cane trash go on a pole man. So you continue. Means you're going to meet your demise. All right, let's keep through some. Can't trust me, the curse them long. All right. 25. Read 25. Because this one was in the blessing.
The Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
Yeah, you know, if you go China, you see what black people here. You go Japan, you go Korea, you go amongst the Arabs, you go Europe, wherever you go. And then we never understand how we say, wait, Africans was all over the place. They don't know African over the place. It's you, the Israelite, because of this. Think of you being the Most High scattering you for the past at least 3,000 years. Have become so entrenched in other nations that we think that they came from us. Africans come and people, everybody come out of Africa. Africans. Because you see people live on the land with black and maybe they were there before the other nation that came there. But that's the Most High scattering us all over the earth because of our wickedness. So when Christ came, Christ said, the gospel must be preached in all nations. So you say, why? Because you are in our nation. Is you have the covenant with him. Read it again.
The
25.
Lord shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth.
So when a nation come up against you, when we there and we are not keeping the commandment and a nation come up against you, most I don't fight for us. You allow the enemies to bust our ass and take we into slavery into their own land. That's how we went to all over the earth. That's how we became Africans. Right, maybe we need to do a class specifically on that. How did we become Africans? Yeah, because we were fleeing from our enemies. We went down there and hide. And then the enemy find me. All right. Okay, 28.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart.
All right, madness. Well, they write in silly season, we then call it silly season. Pay mad things people up on the road, right? But even outside of that, how much of our people have mental problems? A doctor once told me, you say you're stealing. You see a lot of them people say walk around in a pen. They have mental issue. I mean, no, because I deal with them. But they say them in a pretty close every day. Don't. They have mental problem. They are one of the highest people with that. Doctor once told me that. And here it is. That we're going to be stop smacking with brain problem and eye problem and astonishment of heart. What's the astonishment of heart now? That's you being a coward. Yeah. Because the majority of us become cowards, that's how the government have upper hand of us. Yes. We get afraid of him. So one man in our community turned the whole community upside down. Because we're afraid to go up against him. $32.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fear with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
So this is how your person now can get to tell about two better than too many. Because we were stolen from our parents from the beginning, and we are being inbred as their slaves. Because the Most High, we were given unto another people. So that's why them can give you all them things and make it look so real. Yes, because we are their subjects. We are being subjected to them, and it's punishment. All right, drop again down to 37.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee.
So all the nations that we end up in slavery, they call us names. Give me some of the names that we are called by around here now. What was the main one? And they call it the N word. Niggers. Right. That is a byword or a proverb. There in America, you have words they used to describe us like stepping fidget. What again? Yeah, buffoon was one. Um, there was one that Michael Jackson mentioned. Um, I can't remember all of them. But you think of the name. The Mexicans who was from the Northern Kingdom. What they call it? Spits and wetbacks. And they had not them they just find names to give us. Another name they call us in America, Bigfoot. Especially the white one. They love refer to the black man as Bigfoot. Yeah. Because the other nation realize that there is something wrong about us. Realize that some curse or something they pronounce, but some know, some don't know. '43, that explain why you can grow up with a Chinaman or a Mexican and then rise above you. 43.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low.
Mm-hmm. So the mother nation that is within you, that is within your communities, shall rule over you. And 44.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
This is not a commandment saying that you should not lend to him. This is a commandment telling you that you can't go lend to him. Can't afford to. And he shall?
He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Right. Just like the UN. Who run the UN? Who? Yeah. Yes, right, man. America run the United Nations. America do what you want done, UN can't talk all you want, can't do nothing. But you go do something against what UN says and see what happens to you. Yeah. Esau run the UN. Uh, 50.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Right. So that is especially public enemy number one, Esau, the white man. Fierce countenance. That's how they came upon us, you know. And this is talking about how them rule you, how they rule over you. In America, when if blacks come out and demonstrate against George Floyd killing the other day, what did they do? Have them feel say enough is enough now. Enough of you and your demonstration. What they do? They came out with what? The National Guard. Right. They don't care. But at the same time, just the other day, the um the fake Jewish people, they want to have a funeral in New York. The city said no mass gathering. And I dare you to come and shut it down. Couldn't trouble them, eh? And they have their weddings, thousands of people gathering. They do what they want to do. So that show you what. Those curses are not on them. All right, now drop down to 58.
If thou wilt not then observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayst fear this glorious and fearful name, the Lord thy God, then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful,
Right.
and the plagues of thy seed,
Mm-hmm.
even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance.
60.
Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee.
61.
Also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, them will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
Mm-hmm. What number was that again?
Verse 61.
61. Every sickness and every plague which is not written in this book. Name some sickness that we face now that is not in the Bible. Cancer not in the Bible.
High blood pressure,
High blood pressure not in the Bible.
diabetes,
Diabetes not in the Bible.
AIDS,
AIDS not in the Bible.
lungs.
I think there's something like a sickle cell.
Sickle cell is one that was green cancer.
Right. COVID not in the Bible either. Ebola wasn't in the Bible. Lucky the one they were wicked than COVID in it. Kill them much faster. All right. All right. There is the one that says no to be a sign. Verse what again?
Verse 61 we last was read.
No, the one that 46. Go back up to 46.
Verse 26, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
All right. No, what does a sign? What is a sign to do? Notify or identify, right? So we're heading into Kingston. You might see a sign. Welcome to Kingston, right? So you know you're in Kingston. What the Most High is telling you is that when him scatter you and him do all these curses, is it going to be on you for a sign that you're an Israelite? When them nations see you start, and here it says, where is it? What we just read again? Verse 1?
Verse 46.
46. Come on, reach them. All right. They shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed. Not for 2 generations, not for 3 generations, but for, right. So you know who can break that curse? Yes. Only God. Ever hear them say the Lion of Judah, with referring to Christ, shall do what? Right. So these are the chains that we as a people need to be broken from us. Right. And there's one thing going to break it. Because we keep on, me and you might start keep the laws. What happened to the others? On to the next million. You get me? That's why we read Revelation, they tell about 144,000. Not that is 144,000 will be saved. But when you reach that number and they tell you from each tribe, then the Lion of Judah will break every chain. Christ will break every chain at that time. So obviously we don't reach it. So we're still being tough-headed. We parents still have to tell us the same day leaf drop in the water, it rotten. And so many of us still saying, I mean, hear person say this, make me buck me too. I don't know, something I gotta learn. I forgot that one. Your parents used to tell you you can't plant corn and reap peas. So that's just say you're sowing evil, but you're expecting good. Eh? Can't do that. So this is what the Most High said again. So go down back now to 60 what?
61 was the last verse we read.
65.
And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
That is fear. Coward. Make you a coward. So all these things you see happening around you get afraid. Afraid to walk at night. You're afraid to go out because you're afraid of gunman. You're afraid of this. You're afraid of that. Is the Most High doing it. Trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. Tired to see the dead bodies. Feeling so sorrowful. 66.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of thy life.
Why? I go down the road there, but I don't let somebody live. You know, if I go home, then they're going to kill me. But me have to go home because they may live. You understand? These are the things. Yeah.
Many times, even when you're traveling, you hear persons like they will talk, and people they say that, boy, I have to give God thanks, you know, because you come out, you know, must go back to you.
Thank you.
Accident or gunshot.
Thank you. While our blessing is that we should live to old age. You know that? All right. 67.
In the morning thou shalt say, would God it were evening. And at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning. For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see.
So when night come, why things are terrible around you? You can't light, man. When day come back, Lord, night can't come, man. We can't take them sight around me.
Yeah.
That is how you find no ease. You're just not comfortable in a situation. So you go look at visa. Same thing everything you said which is why most times we go fire, we not even go on the road. We stay home. Why? Because you can't go on the road and police kill you. You understand? It's real over there more than here. 68 now, that's the killer.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
All right, so Egypt here is not the land of Egypt, but Egypt here means house of bondage. The land never did name Egypt. The land did name Israel. We Israelites use the term Egypt to mean bondage, but because that's where we came from, where Moses took us from, serving 400 years of bondage, we call it Egypt. And then it comes in our laws, white man call it Egypt. Right? But it was originally Mizraim. So Egypt is bondage. So he's telling her that we shall go into bondage again, but the ship is going to carry. Continue.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right, and that was right near the promised land. When we were doing blessing Mount Ebal and Mount Gerizim. One on that side of the Jordan and Mount Gerizim, I think, and one on the other side of the Jordan, pronouncing the curse. So that was how Moses was speaking to us. And have we seen that land again? Jerusalem. We haven't seen it. All right, and there.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
All right, during slavery, who were we sold to? Give me that one. Give me that one. Give me that one.
White men.
Who?
White men.
And the Bible says we shall be sold to who?
Enemies.
Our enemies. So your white man ain't your friend. So there we go again, trying to go against what the Most High is trying to tell us, trying to make him our friends. And there is he now telling us, you go and get where I look for. So the police have killed we have in the over there. So many, and you're killing off each other. Who make the guns? The black nation don't make no gun. Well, how much Israelite nation make gun? No, not for it. They all buy the guns from the white man. Legal and illegal. Right. So you make the guns readily available illegally in your area. And all the big we are big them through diplomatic relations. Put in gun laws, no man. Why we can't do that, because what you call this the body again, National Rifle Association, NRA. Where that is them sit over the gun laws in America. It's not even president can change it. They're trying state by state to say, okay, you can buy a gun, but you have to show. Because really and truly, or it was, you just go in a gun shop and buy a gun. You didn't have to show ID or anything. Some states now say, yeah, you have to show ID. You have to do this, you have to that. And with all of that, many of them still, the serial number still not registered. So they can buy it and ship it out here, ship it anywhere. Right? So that's the pressure we're under. So there we shall be shown to enemies for
Bondmen and bondwomen.
What is bondman and bondwoman?
Slaves.
Slaves. And
no man shall buy you.
So why it says that, no, look at this now. It says you will be sold unto your enemies. But at the same time, it says no man shall buy you. Why it says that? Because under our laws, you can own slave. But a slave can be freed either by some relative buying that slave back from you, or in work and manage to buy himself out of slavery, right? But the Most High is saying, this slavery that you're going in, no man can save you. And you check it. All them other nations that are out there, has any of them ever tried to save us? The Chinese come out here now, they're trying to save us? They're trying to free us from bondage. They have more trickery than the white man. They have more samphire than the white man, right? So that's what he says about that. All right. We also talk about quick look on the thing there. Chapter 20, what? 6? 26. Go to all right, 26 is 19 verses. I can read them. And then we'll finish. Yeah. Yeah, man.
Deuteronomy 26, verse 1, and it shall be, when thou art come in unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance and possessest it, and dwellest therein, that thou shalt take of the first of all the fruit of the earth, which thou shalt bring of thy land, that the Lord thy God will give thee, and shalt put it in a basket, and shalt go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose to place his name there. Verse 3, and thou shalt go unto the priest that shall be in those days, and say unto him, I profess this day unto the Lord thy God that I am come unto the country which the Lord sware unto our fathers for to give us. And the priest shall take the basket out of thy hand, and set it down before the altar of the Lord thy God. And thou shalt speak and say before the Lord thy God, a Syrian ready to perish was my father, and he went down into Egypt, and sojourned there with a few, and became there a nation, great, mighty, and populous. And the Egyptians evil entreated us, and afflicted us, and laid upon us hard bondage. And when we cried unto the Lord, our God, Lord God of our fathers, the Lord heard our voice, and looked on our affliction, and our labor, and our oppression. And the Lord brought us out of Egypt with a mighty hand, and with an outstretched arm, and with great terribleness, and with signs and with wonders. And he hath brought us into this place, that hath given us this land, and hath given us this land, even a land that floweth with milk and honey. And now, behold, I have brought the first fruits of the land which thou, O Lord, hast given me. And thou shalt set it before the Lord thy God, and worship before the Lord thy God. And thou shalt rejoice in every good thing which the Lord thy God hath given unto thee, and unto thine house, thou and the Levites, and the strangers that is among you. When thou hast made an end of tithing, all tithes of thine increase, the third year, which is the year of tithing, and hast given it unto the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, that they may eat within thy gates and be filled.
So you see, who the tithes go to? The Levites were the priests, right? All right, we have one priest amongst us now. Levite priests amongst us now. The Levitical, you talk about the Levitical order, that's what it was talking about. But the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. But guess what? If you think you're going through your tithes in our church and you go to them, you think again. So what the Most I was setting here now is the tithing. Feast of first fruit, where you bring in the first fruit for the season after winter, and the trees start there again, and the fruit come. You pick those fruit and you take it to the temple to the Levites, and that is your offering unto the Most High. And then further on, you'll find that they have laws as to if you live too far from the temple, if you travel with the fruit, it's gonna be crushed, it's gonna be withered, and so on. So they say you can sell it, enjoy the money. Or if you want to take the money to them, right? But it was really about the fruit first. Then it tell you about the 10% increase. Verse what we have?
13.
All right, read 13.
When thou shalt say before the Lord thy God, I have brought away the hallowed things out of my house.
And hallowed means
Things that are holy.
same as holy. Our Father, who art in heaven, what comes next?
Hallowed be thy name.
Right, so you're saying holy or separate is your name. Right. all things out of mine house, and
also have given them unto the Levite
mhm.
and unto the stranger, the fatherless and the widow, according to all thy commandments which thou hast commanded me. I have not transgressed thy commandments, neither have I forgotten them. I have not eaten thereof in my mourning, neither have I taken away aught thereof for any unclean use, nor given aught thereof for the dead. But I have hearkened to the voice of the Lord thy God, my God, and have done according to all that thou hast commanded me.
So what does it mean by not giving out thereof for the dead? There was a culture coming out of Egypt where the dead ones, certain time of the year you're going, I think you see the Indians them do it same way, the Hindu, you see them, yeah, they put the food and put the food on the grave. Yeah, that is wrong. Continue. And then we see it and say, Jesus, say, I really think that we're supposed to, what do you say, pay homage to the ancestors so that they can watch over me. Yes, I think Mexican have that. Now the Memorial Day I think the Memorial Day in America has to do with war. But there's a Memorial Day like in Mexico or among the Egyptian, the Israelites, what have to do with the dead. Right? America don't do that one, but then go and put food. That is culture, nation, not in racial cultures, or nation culture. And everything white man for like that. The Maggie dead man nothing. They come and sing over you. But want the food. They not even want to bury them in a love riches. Like how we put a gold chain, a gold teeth, all kind of thing for the dead man.
Just like in Benjamin, Slavish and Benjamin, would have like eatings and celebrations.
You're talking like what? Set up and so?
No, not the set up.
Oh, the week is different.
Something similar to what like the other races will have done. Like for example, the Indians. They don't do the same formula, but it's just that they tend to copy what they see other races do. So they mimic it.
And call it, what do they call it?
I don't really give a particular name. It's just that they come with an idea.
And remembering the dead. Of course, they give it a name. But they call it again. They put them picture again in this cleaner. Yes, and they keep church service and all kind of stuff. That is wrong. Most I said no.
Jamaica is a big Rock Street where
I can't remember the name. Oh yes, right, right. The dance, memorial dance. Right, that is wrong. Continue.
Verse 15, look down from thy holy habitation from heaven and bless thy people Israel, and the land which thou hast given us, as thou swearest unto our fathers, a land that floweth with milk and honey. This day the Lord thy God hath commanded thee to do these statutes and judgments. Thou shalt therefore keep and do them with all thine heart and with all thy soul. Thou hast avouched the Lord this day to be thy God, and to walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments, and to hearken unto his voice. Verse 18, and the Lord hath avouched thee that this day, and the Lord hath avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people, as he hath promised thee, and that thou shouldest keep all his commandments, and to make thee high above all nations which he hath made, in praise and in name and in honor, and that thou mayest be as a holy people unto the Lord thy God, as he hath spoken.
So this is the deal. That's the deal. They will sign the covenant with him and say, we're going to keep your commandments and your judgments. And we're going to listen to your voice. And he said, good. And my side of the bargain is I will make you above all people. So you shall rule over all the people then. Right? And you shall avoid this day the Lord to be thy God, walk in his ways, and to keep his statutes and his commandments. And the Lord avouch thee this day to be his peculiar people, right? So his promise to you is that you are going to be my separate people. And you, providing that you keep the commandment. But guess what? You not keeping the commandment, you're still a separate people. You know? That's why you get punished. You know? Yes, ma'am. And to make thee high above all nations which he had made. So when them come to them say, all nation is God's people, yes. But there it is. To make you high above all nations which he had made, in praise and in name and in honor. That's why you see all now we still run faster than them. We beat them at sports, isn't it? Yeah. And it's just because they don't find a way to slow you down yet. And that thou shouldest keep all his commandments, right? No, in honor, and that thou mayest be an separate people to the Lord thy God, as he hath spoken. That's the whole deal. But the other nation get to understand our covenant with God and get to understand, say, if we break it, them have to get us to break it, or them can rule this earth. And what? Everybody want to rule the earth, don't? But they can't rule it when they keep in their commandments. Questions? No question? Ask man, the seat.
No, man, that's good.
All right, so with that, we say, all right, we'll salute and that's it. That was a margin which means to stand. All right, sister, one courteous salute to the teacher, Madam Shabbat, Madam Farah, and Washington Shaiba Katam. Courteous salute to the female. The female stand. The female stand, hand cup like this, right hand above the left, and the foot in a V, head slightly bow. Courteous salute to the sisters, Madam Shabbat, Madam Barak. The Hara Shamar Alafam Basham Yahushai.
Yahweh Shamar Alafam Basham Yahushai.
And that's ancient Hebrew for saying, may the Lord guide and protect you, and so on. Imagine, hands down, classics.